Good evening, Internet. My name is Michael, and I'm here to review some stuff for you. Now, last time we reviewed Under Siege 1, so this time, of course, we're going to review Under Siege 2 Dark Territory. Now, if Under Siege 1 can be likened to Die Hard on a boat, Under Siege 2 is basically Die Hard on a train. So, what is the plot of this great movie? Well, Steven Seagal reprises his role as Casey Ryback, the former Navy SEAL cook, and this time he apparently isn't actually in the Navy anymore, he's just a cook. And he's trying to connect with his niece because his brother died and he missed the funeral. So him and his niece, who's about 17 or so, get on a train and they're going from Denver to LA. And along the way, the train gets hijacked. Now, unlike the first, and much like the first one, where the boat got hijacked by people who had ulterior motives other than what they said, this one actually is hijacked for very odd reasons. The plane's hijacked by a mad scientist. Yep, basically he's a very crazy scientist who developed a earthquake satellite weapon for the CIA, and they fired him. So he's going to get back at them. And he uses the train as a mobile platform because it's when he has a way to transmit to the satellite that can't be traced as long as he's moving. He also needs to get codes from two of the people that were still working with the satellite or working for the CIA that happen to be on the train. After he gets the codes, he blows up a weapons plant in China by causing an earthquake. And then, he basically tells a bunch of terrorist organizations and stuff that he's going to blow up he's going to blow up the Pentagon by causing an earthquake there, which has like a secret underground nuclear reactor, which will cause huge fallout and wipe out all of Washington D.C. and a large part of the eastern seaboard, as long as they pay him $1 billion, which they do. And during all of this, the mercenary army that he hires, they take all the people they kill most of the employees in the train, and they herd all of the passengers into the back. However, Steven Seagal manages to get away, and then he does what he does best. He starts killing them one by one. During this, he teams up with his sidekick for the movie. This is a guy he's a porter. Basically, he's a waiter on the train, and they team up and they start taking out the bad guys. And in the end, they win, as you would expect in this type of movie. However, the overall plot isn't really any in depth, but it actually takes itself really seriously, which actually makes it rather entertaining. The crazy scientist is quite crazy, and he's quite believably crazy. The people back in the government, like that are trying to stop the satellite and stuff, they do okay. It's not quite as good a role as what they did during the first movie, but they do a good supporting cast. The real winner, though, in this movie is the crazy mercenary leader. He's just really, really good. He's crazy, and he really wants to kill Ryback, Steven Seagal's character, up until the point where at the very end he arranges for them to have a knife fight. And kind of like Tommy Lee Jones in the first one, they do have a knife fight, but it's a much more realistic knife fight, although he still gets his ass kicked by Steven Seagal. The sidekick character is really great in the movie. He actually does significantly more than the sidekick in the first movie, up to the point he actually climbs up a rope ladder to hold the escape helicopter hostage. All in all, this is a pretty dang good movie. The action scenes are good. Some of the special effects are a little wonky at times, especially when they launch the satellite weapon at the very beginning. But all in all, a good movie. I definitely give it a 5. And if nothing else, you need to see it for the crazy train versus train ending. There's a final stunt at the very end where two trains collide, and Steven Seagal's in one train and he outruns the train that's colliding into the train he's in. You you have to see it to believe it. So anyway, again, give this movie a 5, and I really do highly recommend you watch it. Is it as good as the first one? Yes. Is it good in the same way? No. It's a bit different, but still good. Anyway, that's all I have for this time, and stay tuned for next time when I'll review something else.